What's up? It's Paul Rabil, and you are watching Relax.
Hey there, guys. It's Gershon. You already know, back with another video. Today's going to be quite a different one. Today's going to be a more serious type video, more of an informational type video. And this is just because a topic has arose in the lacrosse community. And I kind of just wanted to jump on it just because it interests me a lot. And if you guys follow me on my Instagram, you guys can see that I have been keeping up with it. I repost the stuff that everybody's kind of talking about, you know? It kind of just spreading like wildfire. Before I start, I just want to say every information that I gathered here and that I'm about to share with you, I gathered from 4 different sources. Make it 5 actually. So I reviewed 5 other sources and I kind of collectively put it into a list that I want to talk about and my opinions and the questions that I thought about and that I would kind of like to be answered. So I have a couple of questions mixed with information, if you guys know what I'm talking about, alright? So this is my list. You know, college stuff. I have bad handwriting. But, so if you see me reading off this list, you know why. But to start off,
we have huge breaking news here on LSN today. Paul Rabil unveiling a new professional lacrosse league, the Premier Lacrosse League.
What's your initial reaction?
To be honest with you, finally.
PLL is the opportunity to create a better experience for the professional lacrosse player and really create the platform for guys to graduate from college and then be a pro lacrosse player full time.
And for those of you that are saying we can't, we won't, guess what, baby? We will, and we won't stop! The new era has begun.
So the Premier Lacrosse League is co-founded by Paul Rabil, Mike Rabil, which is Paul Rabil's brother, Bloomberg Sports, and a group of investors / entrepreneurs. So the Premier Lacrosse League is pretty much made for the players, by the players. It will have full-time wages and benefits, right? So players wouldn't have to have a side job to support themselves or their family, you know? Because most people in the MLL are playing, which is like you play for a weekend, you know? And then you go back to your normal jobs to actually have your income, to pay your house, to pay all your bills, you know? But the PLL is now trying to get away from that and give players a higher wage so they could be full invested into the sport. So that would mean they would probably start training more often. They would all come out with probably their own products in TV endorsements. Everything that you see like an NFL or basketball player doing, you know? Like how LeBron has his own signature shoes. He has his clothing brand, stuff like that. You see him on this channel. You see him on that website, you know? So there's going to be more branding, which is very good for the sport of lacrosse because it's obviously going to grow it really quick. And that's one thing that I do like. So the PLL has partnered with NBC Network. NBC Network is a very big broadcasting company that streams television and online media. So the PLL made an agreement that they would host 17 PLL games on the NBC Sports channel, 2 on NBC TV, and all of the games will be streamed online on NBC.com. And you can also find them on the NBC app. But the app is kind of like a membership program where you kind of have to pay. So for that, it's still up in the air. One good thing about partnering with NBC is that NBC has the technology and funding to raise awareness for lacrosse, if you understand what I'm trying to say. NBC has a wide variety of audiences. Some people turn on the TV and don't change it. So lacrosse might pop up and they're like, oh wow, this sport is very cool, you know? And they can continue to watch it and then eventually enjoy the game and be a fan of the game. Paul Rabil and NBC both mentioned that there will be 7 to 10 cameras on the field. All has high resolution slow motion, which is going to be super cool to watch. I'm super excited for that myself. They're going to do sideline interviews. They're trying to have a speed radar gun. So, like baseball, you see when they throw the pitches and have the live reading of how fast the pitch is. NBC is trying to do that with shots, with like lacrosse shots, which would be super cool. I don't know how that might work because there's a lot of quick shots, which is like, like it rebounds off the goalie in and out just like that. Those shots might not get read, but those 2-point line, if they do the 2-point line in PLL, those would definitely be rated. The PLL League is set to start June 1st and will continue all the way to September 21st, where the championship weekend will be the weekend of the 21st. There's going to be a total of 14 games, 10 regular season games, 1 All-Star game, 2 playoffs games, and leading up to the championship game. 14 in total.
We think a tour-based model for a sport like lacrosse, where we have 6 teams comprised of the best players in the world, playing a full regular season playoffs and championship, that's a model that can service a growing and emerging fan market.
So for that means for you guys is that you're not going to be able to go to all the games. So let's say you was a New York Lizards fan, right, and you to all their home games. In this case, you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to go once a year to the game. And the thing that kind of sucks about that is, like, let's say you're busy that day. And that's the day that they're coming to your state or town, You're not going to be able to see them. And you're never going to be able to see them until next year. Or unless you travel to a different state to go watch them. That's one of the things that kind of brought to my attention. And plus, since it's a tour-based concept, I just kind of want to know how they're going to pick the venues, like what states they're going to go to, how they're going to make it work, and stuff like that. One thing that I think personally is very cool about the tour-based system is that they say every single event is going to be like a fan fest event. So just like how college lacrosse, you have the Final Fours, where everybody kind of gets together at this one spot. You got tents over there, shot clocks shooting over here, You got Warrior tent, you got Maverick tent. It's going to be more like that, which is very cool. And I am all for that because having everything together for people to come, if it's your first time going, you see all of this, you're just going to be super excited. It's going to be like a kid in a candy shop, So that's one thing that I did like. Another thing that did concern me is just that since it's a tour-based, you're not going to have the this is my team mentality. For example, I'm from New York, right? New York, football and specifically, there's 2 teams. The Jets and the Giants. I'm a Jets fan. They're not good, but I'm from New York. So I'm going to rep that team, But with this tour-based system, it has you thinking, what team am I going to rep? Are you just going to rep for your favorite player? So you're going to be like, oh, Paul Rabel's on this team, so I'm a fan of that team. Or are you going to be like, I like this team color, so I'm going to rep that team. It takes out the aspect of repping your state, So it's not like, oh, yo, that's my New York team, You can't really do that no more. You'll be like, that's my favorite player's team, which is still cool. But that's just one thing that I kind of didn't like. Another thing about the tour-based system is just that since there's no technically states involved or stuff like that, I was just curious on how they would come up with names. So you know how most teams like New York Jets, New York Giants, and like stuff like that, usually you base the team colors by the state. So the New York Knicks are orange and blue because New York flag is orange, blue, and white, So with that said, if it's a tour based, how are they going to go by names, team names, or jersey colors? Like, is it going to be a purple and gold team, But there's no LA, so you can't call it purple and gold, Like, I just want to know how that would work too. Another thing that sparked my interest, since they're partnered with NBC, I was just wondering if they're going to have a second TV show or a second TV channel just for lacrosse. Not showing games in specific, but showing highlights of the game after the games are done, different segments within the TV channel about players' lives, workout plans, stuff like that. Because Paul did mention in one of his videos that they're trying to hype the player, if you know what I mean, by showing his in and out of life after games, what he's doing, his workout plan, stuff like that. So you know how NFL has NFL Network, NBA has NBA Live, NBA TV, MLB has their whatever channel they have. I'm not a baseball fan, so I don't know. But they have whatever channel like that, which is just kind of highlights or like different segments based on the sport. So I was just wondering that, because we do have TLN, which is the Lacrosse Network, but that's on YouTube. So one thing that I thought would be really cool, and if you, sorry, my throat just been hurting. But one thing that I thought could be really cool if NBC kind of also partnered with TLN and made their YouTube channel a TV show on their actual network. And just imagine how cool that would be. Seeing like Colin and Samir on TV. You know, if NBC want to bring a contract my way, I could also hop on TV too. You already know I'm going to be on it, you know? You feel me? But I just thought that would be really cool if they did something like that as well. So this next thing I'm about to say, I don't know if it's just me who kind of thought of it, like the second I saw it. But, so they announced the roster list, right? And one name that I did not see on there was Rabil. You know, MLO, MVP. He plays on the same team as Paul Rabil. And I thought, I would just assume Rabil would be one of the people that would jump on it. Just because he's kind of already a full-time lacrosse player. Because he has his brand deals with Warrior at the moment. He has all his product lines out. He also has a partnership with New Balance. So you kind of just assume that he would be more towards it, in a sense. But he's not on the roster list. And then MLL posted something earlier this week talking about how they still have players talking about Rabil. And I was like, oh, so he stayed with the MLO. But I was just kind of wondering why. I don't know. Rob, if you see this video somehow, you can answer in the comment. Shoot me an email. I just want to know, you know? Speaking on the MLO, 140 players jumped to the PLO. Not all are from the MLO, but 140 players are new to the PLO. Most of them coming from the MLO, though. So I was just curious on how the MLO is going to survive in a way. I don't see them falling down within the next 2 years, but if more people make the jump, who are they going to be left in the MLO to play, you know? So are they going to start taking more open tryouts type things? Because most kids from college are going to want to go to the PLO just so they don't have to get a real job, you know? I'm sorry, someone called me. I don't know. I hate collect calls. But as I was saying, 140 players jumped from the MLO, Box League, International to the PLO. And that makes you think a lot of those players are coming from the MLO. So I just want to know, how are they gonna survive? How are they gonna keep playing without their best players? Because their best players draw the audience. And if your best player is not on there, why would you still watch, you know? So I was just curious on that. Because most college kids are going to want to go to the PLL, in my opinion. I'm in college right now. I don't know if I'm going to be there, but I would prefer to go to the PLL if they're going to pay me more. And if I could just live off the PLL, which I actually like being a pro, you know? I would love to do that. Paul Rabil, let me join your league. So another thing that I found out is before Paul Rabil even started the concept, him and his group sat down with MLO and tried to come to an agreement where they could kind of join leagues and work something out where the players wouldn't leave. But the MLO kind of denied Paul Rabil's offer, and that was the reason Paul Rabil started this in the first place, because they couldn't come to agreement. So just like communism, if the government's not giving what the people want, the people are going to overthrow the government. You know? But in this new league, it's more the people have more to say than the government, which is also bad. In my opinion, I feel like they need to be a healthy both. Not just one side has the power and not the other have the power, you know? It needs to be balanced where there is a structured government where they can still take people's opinions, you know? Because if it's just the players, you know, one player is going to be like, oh, I have this problem. And the other player is going to be, oh, I have this problem. And, you know, they're not going to be able to fix everybody's problem. So that's why, me personally, I don't think that will work. And eventually they'll start to have more of a governing system. But for now, I'm very interested to see how it plays out. You know? But all in all, my final breakdown of the PLL is that I think it's a great idea. Lacrosse is very new. It's still new. It's still growing tremendously fast. I say push the boundary, break down the walls, do whatever you have to do to see the sport grow, you know? And yeah, you know, if it doesn't work at the end of the day, in 10 years, if the PLL is not there no more, at least we could be like, we tried, you know? At least you could be like, we tried to do it and it didn't work. It's better to say, I've done it and it failed, than to what if? What if I did that, you know, and then it worked out? I have full confidence that Paul Rabil definitely knows what he's doing. He is a smart man, by all means. Him and everybody else that joined, they're all very smart people. Most of them are businessmen that has years of experience. So I think it's going to be very good for the lacrosse community. I would love to get your guys' opinion on it. Feel free to drop a comment down below if I missed anything. If you have more information that maybe you're questionable on and maybe I have an answer to it, who knows? Maybe I don't have an answer to something, but you guys do. So comment that down below. Tag Paul Rabil, tag TLN, all that stuff. I'm going to put a link down in the description of the 5 sources that I used to get my information from. 4 of them are videos of different YouTubers within the lacrosse community, and one is Paul Rabil's new website for the PLL. So on there's a lot of information. The 4 YouTubers, they also filled me in with a lot of information, and I kind of wrote them all down on my paper. So yeah, I hope you guys really like this video, and stay tuned for more, alright? Love you guys. Peace.